Well, after months of working to draft a new de-escalation of force policy and asking local community members for input and feedback, tonight Raleigh Police released their plan. It addresses how officers should respond in a situation of non-compliance. WRAL's Leslie Moreno is at the meeting. And Leslie, some people in attendance say the new policy lacks transparency.
Michelle, we were at the first of those 6 meetings this past summer when this was first introduced. The man we spoke with says he is disappointed because this policy doesn't really explain what those de-escalation tactics are. The Raleigh Police Department says its new de-escalation policy may minimize the likelihood of an officer using physical force.
So when you talk about de-escalating, what does that entail? How will they be de-escalating?
So how they'll be de-escalating, I would say if you look in the general policy section, so affirming sanctity of life and respect of human dignity. That's the first time we've seen that specified in a policy.
The policy states when a person is non-compliant, an officer will assess the situation and decide if there is an immediate need to act. If there is no immediate need, officers should attempt de-escalation techniques. What those are was not made clear.
I think this policy still lends itself to willful misinterpretation. And what I mean by that is an officer is going to interpret it how they want to interpret it and say, hey, we was de-escalating when clearly we can see they may not have been de-escalation.
Kerwin Pittman, a social activist, says there was no description of what and how officers will de-escalate a situation.
From a community perspective, it speaks.
Captain Goodwin, who's been working on this policy, says supervisors and select officers will learn about those concepts and de-escalating techniques in training. The process may include, but is not limited to, the following: verbal communication, tactical repositioning, and stress reduction.
How do we know that this de-escalation policy is being followed if we don't have access to these things? And there's a lot laid out in the general policy that's accessible to the general public.
Still a lot of unanswered questions. Excuse me. Raleigh Police will be having another one of these meetings to share the information with the general public. We'll have those details on WRAL.com.
All right, Leslie Moreno live in Raleigh for us. Thanks, Leslie.